Hello, this is the video on increasing consumerism. First thing we've got to talk about is what is consumerism? Consumerism is consumption of goods, or the act or process of using up something. Anytime you use something, you're consuming it. Now, often we think about this in terms of eating. I'm consuming a sandwich. But you know what? It is also when you are taking notes. Right now, you are consuming your pencil. You are consuming your worksheet. You're consuming this computer or phone that you're watching the video on. So anytime we use something, it's consumption. Now, why are we talking about consumerism? Why are we talking about consumption? Because in the 1920s, it was increasing. So what we see is a huge number of new products in a wide variety of price points or different prices are available. Most of these are now available because of electricity, because of electrification. So we're going to see a lot of examples. These are all electronic devices, things such as a vacuum cleaner, a refrigerator, a radio, telephone, a phonograph, and a hair dryer. All these things need electricity, and before families had electricity, they had no use for them. But now that they do, they can go out and buy them. So first we have the availability of all these products, but then at the same time, people have more money. Incomes were on the rise. In 1850, the national income per person was $95, but by 1918, it had risen to $586. So, manufacturers and business owners need to find a way to make thrifty American consumers buy products, sometimes products that they don't necessarily need or want. So, what happens? We have something called advertising. Advertising is what businesses are going to use to get people to buy stuff that they might not necessarily need. So as industrial production is booming, advertisers are going to become more sophisticated and more successful. Before 1910, advertising was basic and was used for department stores or products that offered physical remedies. In the 1920s, advertisers are going to focus on the psychology of buying and appeal to people's needs, frustrations, and anxieties. Think of a commercial that you've seen where the person who has the product looks really excited and the person who doesn't have the product looks really sad. You want to be that person who's excited. You want to have this product so you'll feel good about yourself. You might not necessarily have wanted it 5 minutes ago, but now that you've seen the advertisement, now that you've seen the commercial, there's this psychological need to go out and get it. Consumers were often swayed into buying a product because it was fashionable and it was preferred by people of wealth and position. Think of all the celebrities that are used to advertise products. Look at basketball shoes, for example. If a basketball shoe isn't tied to a specific basketball star like Michael Jordan or LeBron James, it's not going to sell. You've got to have some kind of celebrity tie-in to get people interested. So we've got advertisers who are selling things and getting people to buy more stuff, and we have more stuff available. But in order to make all this work, consumers need to have an easy way to pay for things. That's through installment buying. It allows consumers to buy goods on credit by paying small amounts of money initially and then paying off the remainder in monthly installments. In other words, this is the beginning of credit cards. With installment buying, people with modest incomes could buy goods that would otherwise have been beyond their reach. So here's what that would look like. Almost every conceivable good could be bought on credit in the 1920s. If you want a $43.50 phonograph, you don't need to be able to pay for it now. You can put $5 down and $5 a month until you've paid it off. That $445 piano that most people would never be able to save up that much money, well, now it's $15 down and $12 a month until you've paid it off. The $28.95 vacuum, $2 down and $4 a month. This process of buying things through installment buying things on credit, is going to allow businesses and manufacturers to sell more and more products. And it's going to allow consumers using credit to buy more and more things. This is going to cause a huge time of industrial growth and of economic growth throughout the 1920s. If this seems a little bit too good to be true, if it seems like there's something not quite right here, well, you're right on the mark, but you're going to have to wait till our next unit on the Great Depression to find out more. Thanks for listening.